What's up, guys? Welcome to Daily Dose of Reddit. This is your host, Zach, and today's subreddit is r/EntitledPeople. This story's called Entitled Racist Japanese Salesman Wanted to Send Me to a Gas Chamber, but he spoke a little too loud. Since I've tested positively for Modelo and I have to be quarantined, I'd like to share a story from a few years ago just to pass the time. Note that the things that were said are all roughly translated from Japanese unless otherwise stated. I'm originally from the Netherlands, but I moved to Japan 8 years ago, and all I can say, Japan is a really nice place if you know where to find work. I don't look Japanese, but I'm well-mannered, follow Japanese traditions and etiquette well, and I took the surname of my Japanese wife, since my surname is unpronounceable in Japanese, and I didn't want to bother my wife, my kids, and the Japanese people with an unpronounceable name. So basically, I'm as Japanese as a foreigner can be. Tough, I still do some Dutch things together with others, like baking oil balls during New Year and treat my staff to pepernoten on Sinterklaas. What? Oh, that's crazy. So I had a business meeting in Tokyo, and after that was concluded, I decided to eat some ramen at a local ramen shop. Even though I can afford fancier food, I like the more low-key food stands. It was a small-scale ramen shop, which had a note, "No foreigners allowed." You see these signs more than you think on these smaller shops and stands, but in most cases, the owners put these posters on the stand because the owners can't speak English, so a lot of times, if you speak Japanese, you're allowed. I went in anyway, since I kinda know the owner, and it was empty with only one other guy sitting there. I greeted the owner and ordered my bowl of ramen when the entitled Japanese salesman, I'll call him Entitled Salesman, in a snobby voice said, "Excuse me, but what is this, gaijin, a foul word for foreigner, doing here in this shop?" I'm just ordering a bowl of ramen. They're the best in town. In bad English, which is, I don't really think it's an offensive term. It's a term that a lot of people use, like, to refer to, like, the unique Japanese English stuff you see and hear while, in Japan or something. Could be offensive, but as far as I know, it's not. Anyway, "I'm not talking to you, filth," in Japanese. "I was talking to the shop owner. You had a note on your door stating you do not allow foreigners." At this point, I started to secretly film this since I wasn't sure that if things would go out of hand, the shop owner would be on my side. And the Japanese police tends to believe the natives before foreigners. I don't know if filming is even allowed, but hey, proof is proof. I can hear what you say. I speak Japanese too, you know." "Shut up, you filth! Do you understand how important I am? I work at Great Japanese Department Store Office, and I work as a salesman there. Every day I make sure people got what they need. I'm responsible for 18 million people to get goods, something you can never do." Okay, in a manner like One Punch Man. "Please, calm down. I have no problem with people who speak Japanese. I just can't deal with foreigners who can't speak Japanese during rush hours. They sadly lose me money." "A foreigner is a foreigner. It doesn't matter if a Neanderthal knows how to speak our beautiful language. He is still a gaijin." "Well, I'm actually a Japanese citizen. I revoked my Dutch citizenship years ago to become a Japanese citizen. I'm Japanese now, if you like it or not." "You are not Japanese, and you will never be. Our race will stay clean." Oh god. At this point, I decided to stop being polite and just troll the hell out of him. "Oh, I have a Japanese wife, you know. I have 7 kids. I actually have 2, but whatever. My oldest daughter is president of the Archer Club. This was true. And my 3rd son wanted to become a monk. This was a lie." "You filthy foreigner steal all of our wives. It's your fault I don't have a wife and family." "Maybe because you're a penis." "Excuse me, you rude-ass gaijin." What? Never hard to take the truth. You know how I got her? By being polite, being supportive, and let her live the life she wants. Penises like you only tell women to stay at home, take care of the children, and shut up.
This is what I mean! You gaijins disgrace our traditions!
Are you serious?
What? It is the role of a woman to birth children and stay at home! You Americans taught our women otherwise, and now we have a low birth rate!
Funny. I don't remember the Netherlands being in the US, but I can speak like an American redneck if you want.
America, Netherlands, Germany, Sweden, it doesn't matter! You whites destroy everything beautiful in the world!
I ain't know, but you gotta relax. Hey, ever shot a Colt Python before? The best gun you can shoot, tough at a distance of 12 gallons. I prefer a Deagle. Recently bought an MMP-15 with a scope. Great to use against enemies of the free world.
Shut up!
You gonna see the Super Bowl tonight, motherfather? I have 10 inches of Diet Coke and 6 feet of McDonald's.
God, I love the just random U.S. customary units.
Hey, did you know my NASCAR drove over 200,000 yards? And our proud president, Donald J. Trump, gave me the Medal of Patriotic Freedom.
I don't know. I was just using random American terms at this point.
You frickin' gaijin should all be gassed to death. You should all be collected and go in a gas chamber. Your bones will be used to strengthen our roads, and we will exterminate all filth in our country.
Honestly, I was shocked. I didn't expect him being this extreme. I just hoped he would walk out like the loser he was. Oh well, this guy wanted to fight, but I honestly didn't want to. The shop owner at this point was calling the cops and removed his "No Foreigners Allowed" sign, cause it's technically illegal, but somehow we didn't throw punches. He was still shouting racist things and he still acted entitled, but the cops came in and, of course,
I was assaulted by that man! Arrest him, please!
Luckily, the shop owner vouched for me and the cops took him away, but not without the cherry on top. When the cops asked his name, he said his name. But the funny thing is, I have the same surname as him. And not only that, my wife's surname is kinda a historical name derived from samurai. So when I heard his name, I said, "Oh, hey, my name is also Miyamoto." BT dubs, Miyamoto is the surname of Musashi Miyamoto, the legendary Ronin, a masterless samurai. He was a badass. He won, oh my god, he's won against some ridiculous odds. You guys should really look him up, he's cool. Anyway, this is when the guy flipped even more, and he said racist things again and wished me again in the gas chamber. But in his rage, he somehow forgot there was actual police next to him. So yeah, this guy was taken to the police office and got a fine. Later, I heard he was fired from his job. Damn. Out of gratitude for helping me out, I translated the shop owner's menu into English and made some sort of system that if foreigners order stuff, it will go smoothly. Nowadays, the shop owner makes some extra bucks thanks to it. Oh well, all's well ends well, right? Though, do note, some things are rough to translate, and it happened 3 years ago, so I might have missed some details and some things might sound weird and unbelievable. First of all, I believe that story, a lot of people in Japan are super polite. Most people in Japan are super polite. Because like a very prominent philosophy is, the nail that sticks out gets hammered. And no, that doesn't mean like if you stand out and you're super charming and funny like I am, they'll give you free alcohol. I made that mistake. I'll just leave it at that. I'm kidding. But a lot of the older generation there, so I've heard, are like here very traditionalist, and Japanese culture is, you know, very conservative. You know, traditions are a very important thing there, culturally speaking. I could be wrong, I could be talking out of my ass, but this is from what I know from watching days and days and days of videos on this topic. So I'm a bona fide expert on Japanese culture. I'm joking, I know nothing. All right, time to hydrate because I am thirsty. And this story's called New Grooming Client Can't Keep Her Demand Straight. Hello, internet strangers! You guys aren't strangers, you're practically family. As a veteran of the pet industry, I've got loads of stories for y'all. This is just my most recent encounter with an entitled person. People are extra crazy when it comes to their pets. Brief backstory. I am originally a vet tech by trade, but over the years I've been grooming dogs and cats with medical or behavioral issues. The pets that no sane, regular groomer would touch. My background in vet med, my degree in animal behavior, and my knack for grooming led my side hustle to become a full-time job. So what you need to know is that as a specialty groomer, my clients' pets all have issues. Multiple vets in the area refer patients to me that are poor candidates for sedated grooms. I'm booked a solid 6 to 8 weeks out. I groom in a local pet supply store salon. There is a storefront with cat and dog supplies and a fully enclosed grooming area in the back. I am only the groomer, but I have an assistant/bather. The government of my state has mandated that all services must be scheduled by appointment only. No walk-ins allowed. On to the story. This happened this past Saturday with an encore yesterday. Here's the cast. There's me.
My assistant? Entitled lady?
Entitled lady's dog.
I had an elderly little dog with skin issues on my table. My assistant was hustling around cleaning up the salon. I was busy grooming away when I hear the door open.
Hello?
Hello, how can I help you?
My dog needs his nails trimmed.
Okay, do you have an appointment?
No, my dog needs his nails trimmed.
Okay, that's no problem, as my assistant is currently available. She can get your information set up in our system for an appointment now. We just have to follow the governor's mandates for services by appointment only.
I'm not making an appointment. I'm here now. My dog needs his nails trimmed.
I understand, ma'am, and my assistant happens to be free. We're gonna do his nails right now. We just need to input some information either way. This goes on for a minute, back and forth, because entitled lady cannot comprehend that we just need her damn info. My poor assistant was cleaning out the shop vac and looked like she wanted to crawl into it and hide, but she comes up to the counter to take over. Entitled lady refuses to give her anything but her name and entitled lady's dog's name. Entitled lady's dog's name. God, that's confusing. My assistant asks for rabies info, and entitled lady has another meltdown. My assistant eventually gets the name of her vet and was able to call and verify rabies vaccination. This was where the fun really began. As entitled lady was a new client without an appointment, I assumed that it was a normal nail trim that my assistant would be capable of doing. Taking the leash from entitled lady and walking entitled lady's dog to the lift table.
Entitled lady's dog has metal rods and plates in his legs and back. Do not let him jump or wiggle. Do not pull on his legs or bend them in an unnatural way. He does not like his paws touched due to nerve damage.
My assistant and I lock eyes and share a "what the f have we gotten into" look.
Oh, and do not put that noose thing on his neck.
Ma'am, entitled lady's dog will likely do best if you either stand next to him or step aside.
I'm socially distanced and I want to watch.
I'm still grooming my little old dog at this point, and I'm not gonna keep arguing with entitled lady. My assistant gets entitled lady's dog on our table, but doesn't raise the table at all. In the lowest position, it's approximately 20 inches off the ground. My assistant clips a single nail, and entitled lady's dog yelps, flings himself off the table, and runs to entitled lady. He was fine. She didn't quick him, no limping, etc. I'm sorry, ma'am. Is entitled lady's dog okay? Let's get you set up for a better time when I can do his nails myself. Entitled lady's dog is obviously too stressed today. Now I'm expecting a rage storm from entitled lady because we hurt her baby and I put my groom dog in a kennel.
What?
I'm so sorry. Let me check entitled lady's dog over for you. He doesn't appear to be hurt.
What do you mean a better time? It's a nail trim. Just get it done.
I'm totally stunned. Ma'am, we have to reschedule in order to do do it safely. My assistant's checking our schedule on the computer.
Our next available spot is Thursday.
This is ridiculous! My dog needs his nails trimmed! You people are incompetent!
This time it's me who cuts her off. Ma'am, you will not receive any services here unless you treat us with respect. I will give you the benefit of the doubt because you obviously aren't aware what type of salon this is. I gesture to the specialty grooming signage and my degrees and certifications on the wall. Entitled lady with her eyes big and her mouth silent. I am off on Tuesday, but I will meet you here at 4:30 p.m. It will be quiet and much safer considering entitled lady's dog's medical history and behavior. She nods silently in agreement and leaves. Yesterday, I completed the nail trim with entitled lady's dog on the floor. Entitled lady had a much improved attitude and she even thanked me. Of course, she didn't tip. What the hell? Oh, man. You know what? If you read these stories without, the context of every other story on here, it's just ridiculous, the kind of stuff people do. Obviously, we're kind of used to it now. But goddamn, this OP is just trying to help this lady out, and she'd be cray-cray. Why is she acting so cray-cray? This story's called, I Use the Force, Bimbo. One lovely spring day, I'm taking my lunch break and decided to go to the Golden Arches for one of their tasty filet-o-fish sandwiches. Those are really good, especially with the extra tartar sauce. Their tartar sauce is really good. Their parking lot pretty much sucks. It's pretty narrow. But today, the drive-thru was packed, so I figured I'd go on inside, get my food, snag a few Pokemon while I waited, but that was before the show. Their L-shaped parking lot is pretty full up, but if you go to the end and turn right, there's another row of spaces, mostly empties. I'm rolling down the straightway. In front of me is a woman in a generic brown Oldsmobile Buick, backing out of a space in front of me, then back in, then out, then in, at least 4 times. Sounds like my prom night. She's visibly flustered. I never went to prom. She's visibly flustered, and her teenage passenger seems to be yelling and freaking out. Oh boy. She just couldn't get the car in exactly how she wanted it. The whole time this is going on, I'm actually enjoying the show. I've got the front row seat. Cars are backing up behind me now. This lasted maybe a minute or two. Back and forth, 3, 4, 5 passes. Definitely my prom night. Finally, she kicks in reverse one last fateful time. Wham! She plows into the most beautiful classic El Camino ever. This car was cherry, absolutely perfect. The owner was obviously a supercar guy. This was the kind of car that won awards at car shows. Oh no! I was stunned. But even more stunned when she whips into the empty row and right into a space. First try. She flies out of the car and literally runs into the lobby. Wow, I can't believe what I just watched. But at least she's going to find the owner and make it right, right? Nope. I parked, got a good Pokemon, listened to the last couple of seconds of the song on the oldie station, and strolled inside. The second I get in, I met with a shriek.
That's him! That's the man that caused the whole thing!
She's got the manager and the poor dude who owned the El Camino and is trying to drag them over to me. The El Camino guy looks like he might actually cry at this point. I just look at the crazy lady and ask her, actually really calmly, how did I cause an accident between 2 cars that I had no control over? That was it. She tried sputtering something about how I rushed her by looking at her. Unfortunately for her, about a dozen people watched the demolition derby driving, including the car owner. I gave him my card with my cell phone number in case he needs a witness or something. I tell him how awesome his car is and how it should easily be fixable. Something was leaking and the front bumper was pretty dented. Otherwise, it could have been a lot worse. He only ever said, thanks. But the entire time I was there, I swear he was just trying not to cry. Ah, man, that poor guy. I got my food and I was heading out. The woman was still yelling at the manager outside by her car. I made sure she saw me getting into my truck and drive off. After 10 years, I feel it's safe enough to confess that I did use my force powers to make her plow into the El Camino. I was aiming her at an old pickup truck, but she was such a bad driver. OP, you've got a sense of humor. So funny. But damn, that's so sad. That poor El Camino and that poor El Camino owner. I've seen My Name is Earl all the way through. So I understand the value of an El Camino. That's a special car, especially like the really, really pretty ones. Oh man, I feel bad for that guy. I hope it's okay now. I hope he got it completely fixed and they can't even tell.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode.